Good morning on this cold and freezing Wednesday morning in Boston. The truth is that I hate having to do a Dvar Torah like this. I much prefer to speak about our heroic soldiers in Israel, about the remarkable human beings all over Israel and the diaspora who are standing strong for Israel, unequivocal in the fight for their life as we fight for survival and to be able to protect our citizens. But it really bothered me. I've been reached out to by many of my friends who live in other places in America, and they've asked me a question. Yesterday there was a vote in the Senate, a vote that wanted to condition U.S. aid to Israel on a 30-day review from the Justice and Human Rights Division of America, which would basically guarantee that for the next 30 days, Israel would get no support from America. In a time of war, a war that has been thrust upon Israel over 100 days ago by Hamas, butchering 1,200 people, 136 still hostages, families destroyed, communities destroyed, 10% of Israel living under fire, evacuated from their homes. Over 100 days. And here come along senators, and out of all the countries, this is the one country they're focused on during a wartime to our one ally in the Middle East, saying that America should condition its aid. Now 11 senators voted for this and 72 against it. It didn't pass. But first of all, it's still concerning because the left part of the Democratic Party keeps on growing in their opposition to Israel. But 2 out of the 11 senators, 2 out of the 11 were senators from our state, Elizabeth Warren and Ed Markey. 2 people who consistently vote against Israel, who claim they support Israel, yet everything they do is directed at demonizing and hurting Israel. Elizabeth Warren claims, it's the right-wing Netanyahu government that's doing this war. She knows it's rubbish. She knows it's nonsense. She knows the fact that entire Israel and the entire war cabinet, right, left, and center, is the one running this war. You don't have to like Netanyahu. But if you want to fight Israel, don't blame it on Netanyahu. Israel's at a moment of critical need. And here, they, time after time, vote against Israel. Yet, one of my friends are asking me, what's the Jewish community saying? There's 280,000, nearly 300,000 Jews that live in Massachusetts. Where are our leaders? Where's JCRC? Where's Jeremy Burton? Where's CJP? This is not the first time this has happened, and every time I've reached out to them and said, where is your voice? They said, well, we work behind the scenes. We want to try to work things out. It's more complicated. We need to continue with relationships. It's more complicated. Israel's at war, a critical war of its safety. Anti-Semitism is at the highest in America. And the 2 senators in our state of nearly 300,000 Jews have the audacity and the gall to go and to vote to condition aid to Israel, and we will still be their friend. We won't call them out. If not now, then when? And if not you, then who? We have to be unequivocal to our leaders. We will not tolerate this. Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren have to know that they will not just get Jewish votes automatically, that we will not remain quiet and continue supporting them and giving them donations and meeting with them and smiling with them and inviting them to our temples to speak and inviting them to our rallies. How many temples in Massachusetts invite Elizabeth Warren to speak? Shame on you. What does it say to our brothers and sisters in Israel? The responsibilities with each and every one of us, those who support these organizations and those who know the leaders. Pick up your phone, write an email, and say, this is not okay. Which takes me to the Dvar Torah. This Shabbos I spoke in Shul about the story of God telling Moses, I heard the cries of the Jewish people, And then God says to Moshe, therefore, tell the Jewish people that I will take them out from the burden of Egypt. And as I mentioned last week, the burden of Egypt, the rabbis explain the word savlanut to mean tolerance. And the Chedush She'arim, one of the great pre-war sages in Poland, says that basically God's telling the Jewish people the only way we'll go out of exile is if we don't tolerate exile. This week's Torah portion we read, Bo el Paro. God says, come to Pharaoh. He tells Moses, have the courage to face Pharaoh. And how do you have the courage to face Pharaoh? By Bo, coming to yourself, finding your inner core, the strength within you. Moses is scared to go to Pharaoh. Pharaoh's a tyrant. Pharaoh's not listening to him. He's getting angrier and more upset at the Jews. But what does God tell him? Have the courage. Find it within yourself to stand up to tyranny, to stand up to those who want to annihilate us. And the only way to do it is to find that strength within you and not to tolerate the burden of exile, not to tolerate anti-Semitism, not to tolerate hate for Jews, not to tolerate hypocrisy and double standard. So my friends, if we want to go free, this week's Torah portion, Bo el Paro, if you want to go free, you have to have the courage to find that strength within you. Don't be quiet. Be strong, be loud, be unequivocal. We should condemn the vote that happened yesterday. We should be embarrassed that we in Massachusetts, with nearly 300,000 Jews, have 2 senators who consistently vote against Israel. And at the most critical time for the people of Israel, they have the audacity when Israel's fighting for its life, from Hezbollah on the north, to Hamas on the south, to the Houthis, to Iran, to every other country that wants to annihilate us. At this moment, they're voting during a war to restrict aid to Israel? Have they no shame? Any Jew who says they love Israel and would vote or donate for someone like this should look themselves in the mirror and come inside to find the inner strength to stop fooling themselves. Have a great day. We'll be strong. We will survive. The vote was shot down, of course, but it says so much about our politicians in our state, and we need to speak with a clear and loud and unequivocal voice. God bless you. Have a great day.